What up, everybody? Joseph Sikora, who stars as Tommy Egan in Power Book 4 Force, recently posted on Twitter that there will be news on Force Season 2 in less than 10 days. And everybody is hoping Force Season 2 picks up where Ghost Season 3 leaves off. We all know Tommy's going to drop some bodies, cancel some Christmas parties, and move some weight. But the real question is, will Tommy find love in Force Season 2? In Season 1, he found out that he had a long-lost brother named JP and a nephew named Darnell, aka D-Mac. When Tommy first got to Chicago, the first person he met was a bar owner named Gloria. Gloria seemed like she may be Tommy's new love interest, but after they hooked up a couple times, Tommy found out that Gloria and Vic Flynn, who he was in business with at the time, had history. And like a true player, he said he wasn't going to let a female get in the way of business. So he gave Vic Flynn his girl back. But this was a big problem because Walter Flynn did not want his son to be with Gloria. And after threatening her and trying to get her to leave, eventually Walter had Gloria killed. And since Walter hates Tommy, probably feels threatened by him, he blamed Gloria's death on Tommy. And Vic, like the naive fool he is, believed him, causing more problems for Tommy until he found out the truth in the Season 1 finale. I'm not going to say Tommy didn't have feelings for Gloria either, because he did, and was very upset when he heard about her death. So it's not gone well for Tommy concerning his love life and his love interest going all the way back to OG Power. In Power Season 1, Tommy Egan had established himself alongside Ghost as the biggest drug dealers in New York. They also just opened up a new club, Truth. Yes, when Truth first opened, Tommy was Ghost's 50-50 partner. At this time, Tommy was single, and I don't think he had ever been in a serious relationship. It was more that he just hooked up with random females and moved on. But Tommy always had a thing for redheads, and at Club Truth there was a red-haired waitress named Holly. Ghost specifically told Tommy not to get involved with any of the females who worked at Truth, that it was bad for business. A lesson Dre learned from Ghost, but Tommy didn't care anything about. So Tommy started pursuing Holly, and she asked him if he even knew how to ask a girl out on a date. This is what makes me think that Tommy had always just been a player and never been in a serious relationship. Not to mention he doesn't have any baby mamas, ex-girls he ever brought up, or anything. So Tommy eventually hooks up with Holly and they get into a serious relationship. And can I mention, personally, Holly was one of the most annoying characters on the whole show. She was almost worse than the feds. After being sent away by a ghost and returning, Holly found out that Tommy had been ordered by Lobos to kill Ghost. And if he didn't, that they would kill their dog Bella, Holly, and Tommy. Also, it was around this time that Holly got pregnant. It was after one of Lobos' men killed Bella when Holly started getting desperate and fearing for her life. She also noticed Tommy didn't have it in him to kill Ghost, and she took matters into her own hands by hiring the Jamaican hitters to kill Ghost. Tommy, who was all coked up at the time, found out what Holly did and snapped. Then Holly just kept running her mouth, and Tommy canceled her Christmas, not knowing she was pregnant with his child, because for whatever reason she never told him. It wasn't until months later he found out Holly was pregnant when Tasha told him. After Ghost buried Holly, he returned Tommy's grandmother, who he grew up thinking was dead, ring back to him because he had given it to Holly. One of the most funniest moments in Power history was when Tommy and Ghost hooked up a couple weeks later and Tommy was wearing that ring on his chain. Ghost saw it and his facial expression was priceless. He just kept his mouth shut. Tommy has obviously been through some mental health struggles during his time in the Power universe. But it was Milan who saved Ghost from the Jamaican hitters, and after Ghost killed Lobos, he revealed himself, and everyone associated with Ghost or Tommy was in danger. Tommy showed up at Lakeisha's shop, but they never showed us what happened, leaving us to think he killed her for Milan. But after they killed Milan, it was revealed that Tommy had put Lakeisha away in hiding. Eventually, Tommy and Lakeisha started hooking up, and Lakeisha caught feelings. But Tommy, who was still getting over Holly, didn't feel the same way. But after they broke up and got back together, Tommy was all in with Lakeisha. But Kate Egan, who was part of the problem why Tommy had never been in a serious relationship before Holly, spit some game to Tommy, knowing the life he had chose, and said when it comes down to it, if the feds ever pressure Lakeisha, she would choose her son Cash over him. But Tommy didn't want to hear what Kate had to say, and bought a house for the three of them in the suburbs to start a life together. It was at this time Blanca got Lakeisha to flip by threatening Cash, and she signed the paper saying she would testify. The same night, Tasha showed up at the new house to talk to Lakeisha about Tariq. When Tasha saw the paperwork, and Lakeisha ran for her gun, so Tasha killed her best friend and fled the scene. Tommy got home that night prepared to propose to Lakeisha when he found her laying dead on the ground. Tommy blamed Ghost for Lakeisha's murder and didn't learn the truth about what happened until right before Ghost was killed. So now we get to our current timeline, and Tommy is ready to take over the whole map. In season 1 of Force, Tommy was introduced to a new drug called Dahlia by Claudia Flynn. When she introduced it to him, she kissed it on him. When Tommy was telling Liliana, he kind of acted like he was interested in Claudia Flynn. If Tommy ends up hooking up with Claudia Flynn, it would create two interesting storylines. First off, how would Walter Flynn react when he finds out that his baby girl is in a relationship with Tommy Egan of all people? This might put Walter in his grave even quicker than that sickness he's dealing with. The second being the fact that Claudia is actually the person who killed Liliana. And Tommy is definitely trying to find out who killed Liliana and seek revenge. If Tommy doesn't hook up with Claudia, there are two new female characters being introduced to the storyline in Season 2. The first is Shanti Showstopper Page. Shanti is a prized, ex-professional boxer that now runs her own gym. She is fearless and ambitious, a dangerous combination. But she seems more of a potential Diamond Samson love interest than for Tommy Egan. The second is Maria Garcia. Maria is smart, direct with a great sense of humor. She's strong-willed, guarded, and not afraid to call you on your bad behavior. She's also the younger sister of the most dangerous Mexican drug dealer in the city. Now, she seems more like Tommy's potential love interest, and this is definitely a clue that Tommy is going to hook up with a new Mexican plug with ties to a cartel. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.